Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Yes.
I'm Cheryl.
I'm Wendy.
And this is Grandma's Not Right. Nope. Grandma's not right.
Nope. Never.
And,
I wasn't right before I was a grandma, so.
Nope, I wasn't either.
I wasn't a right child. I wasn't a right young adult. And
Definitely not a right woman.
No, and not a right senior citizen.
No. No, I refuse. I refuse to grow up. How do you like that one?
That's right.
We have a subject to get into later that is kind of fits in with the week, this was Thanksgiving week, so we're going to touch on a little bit of what that means to us, but first we got to start out with Wendy's word of the week.
Yay! All right. It is awareness.
Awareness.
Yes, in this most thankful week of weeks here in America, where we reflect on our thankfulness, you have to be aware first, in my opinion, of what you have to be thankful for, which a lot of gurus, I guess positive thinking gurus will tell you, don't think in lack, think in what you have and be thankful. Well, yeah, but you also have to be aware of what you don't have. Sorry, but there's really no way around that, right? So for me, the awareness, you also have to be aware of your shortcomings. And for me, which we already talked to in our first episode about family afflictions, disorders, whatever. What did you call it? Rewiring or different kinds of wiring.
Neurodivergence.
Yes, that's what the kids are calling it now, neurodivergence. But really, you have to be aware of those things. Mm-hmm. And you can't really be thankful without that. So awareness. I'm aware of my financial situation or my relationship situations, anything like that. I have to be aware of those things in order to tackle them or to even be thankful for what I have related to those situations. I guess is what I'm saying, if that makes sense.
It does.
Okay.
I like that, and I agree with that without awareness, how can you make any correction?
Yeah.
And how can you know if you need improvement?
Yes, exactly.
Or how can you know if there's a better way to do something?
Mm-hmm.
So awareness is good. I like
okay.
that.
All right.
I like that. Nice word of the week, Wendy.
All right,
Appreciate that. Okay, so I got 3 words for you. 3 words.
3 words. I said 3 words.
I said 3 words. I like that. Okay. Pizza, pineapple, wipes.
Oh my God. And you're being friendly with the word wipes because it should be shit.
I know.
Diarrhea shit smell. Okay, so your son on a Friday night or a Saturday night.
When he was a toddler.
And we'll get into that in a second, but I will say my daughter said she couldn't eat pineapple pizza for the longest. So first of all, I don't know, you want to go first?
I don't care.
I was just talking about this with a coworker because we were talking about because your son has autism and he was born in 94. Mm-hmm. So that was, it was still in its infancy, especially in our neck of the woods, in our small town. And she was just getting by and people giving her, even doctors had stupid advice or other people. And so you were just doing the best that you could. But oh my God, how many times I got a phone call, she's in tears because they had just got a brand new house. Brand new, built custom for them in a neighborhood cul-de-sac, 2-story, beautiful home, and your son decided to get into his diaper and smear shit all over everything, the carpet, the walls,
finger paint, everything.
And she would call in tears and say, "He's done it again. I can't come to work." And I felt so bad. It wasn't funny at the time. It's funny now. We can laugh. But I was heartbroken. I said, "Take all the time you need. Like, what am I going to do?" Say, but it was awful. And I also remember you would put him in a pink leotard because it was the only thing he couldn't get off. He'd strip down, which if you know autism, some of them like to strip down. They don't like clothes on. They like to feel free. So a pink leotard because your daughter we're gymnastics coaches. We owned a business. That's a say for another episode. But we had leotards aplenty. So, and he loved playing with the hose. So he'd be out in the hose playing with water, and then the neighbors, new neighbors, look down the slope, looking at this blonde-headed kid with his leotard on, playing in the water, and your water bill is astronomical.
But the pineapple.
Oh yeah,
the pineapple pizza and wipes. We would always order pineapple pizza to be delivered.
Because we hung out. It wasn't enough we worked together. We would hang out on a Friday night and Saturday night with 6 of our kids all together.
Because my husband at the time, he worked all the time. He was gone all the time.
Yeah.
So we were, we
and
had we had 6 kids.
Yeah.
And so we would get together and have fun, and the kids would have fun and be like a big slumber party almost every weekend.
Yeah.
And we'd always have pineapple
pizza,
pineapple and pepperoni, or no, pineapple and Canadian bacon.
Yeah,
is what it was, right, or whatever,
or
ham
pepperoni or whatever.
Anyway, and then, the wipes though were also to clean their hands.
Yeah.
All the kids, they use those baby wipes. Well, the baby wipes have a certain smell. You know, they're kind of a...
Well, especially then. They're different now. Even then they had a distinct smell because you didn't have as many brands as you have now. This was in the early 90s.
So that just conjures up a whole period of our life is that, and anyone who's been around us or anyone who attended any of those little family gatherings, because older girls would have their friends over all the time.
Oh yeah.
So any of their older friends, if you watch this, I think you'll know what we're talking about too. So anyway, that's my 3 words.
Okay, I'm just laughing because the last. The other 3 words was the coffee, cigarettes, and poop, and now it's pineapple pizza. Poop, man, poop is just
aromas. The aromas.
If there was a flag like for IBS, we'd have that flag in our family because.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Poop rules our lives.
It does. And on that note, we're grateful even for our poop.
Yes.
But anyway.
Okay.
So, all right, let's move on.
All right, let's move on.
All right. So,
okay.
on to the main course.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
see what I did there?
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Anyway, yes. Well, kind of around the idea of gratitude and thankfulness, and Wendy's perfect word of the week, awareness, is just the realization that when I say the word thankful or I'm grateful,
yes,
I for some reason I feel awful saying I'm so thankful for this or I'm so grateful for that, because then I'm thinking, well, who am I thanking? Am I thanking the universe? Am I thanking God? Am I thanking myself?
Yes.
Like I'm thankful for my family,
right.
or I'm so grateful that hasn't happened to me. Or I don't want to say lucky because I don't believe that it's luck. So why do I feel that way about, if somebody, like if someone's loved one, say something happens to them and they pass away from something, and my loved one has the same exact thing happen, but they survive. I'm so thankful. I'm so blessed that my
I see what you mean.
relatives survived.
Yeah, so I mean, we kind of touch on that on our upcoming episode, and about why is there one person not another,
and then it's like, okay, and I guess I can say thankful or grateful. I say grateful a lot. I'm grateful for my family, my spouse. He's amazing. I'm grateful for my sister and our great relationship. I'm so grateful for my family. All right. I don't mind saying that. I think it's more when it's around, we're so blessed. Okay. Who's blessing you? And why are you special that you get blessed? Yeah. And that is my cynical, weird ass brain.
I know. No offense to anybody. We're not saying you can't say that.
There's nothing wrong with saying we're blessed or bless you or whatever. That's fine. I don't have. It's just for that to come out of my mouth, I instantly think, you're not blessed, you're not special, you're not better than anyone else. Why do you use that word? So I don't use it. I only use,
I know what you're saying. And again, people who are listening thinking, it sounds terrible, and you think, oh, they're making fun of people who say that. Not at all, because I'm going to tell you what, when I'm like at work and someone, I'll give you a little story. Somebody, I didn't know this person that well. And I work with kids who a lot of them are nonverbal. Some are in there, some aren't. And we have to change, let's say you change their diaper. So we're in the bathroom, and I think the kid had sneezed. And the person helping me said, "Bless you." And I said, "Yeah, I'm not going to say that. I don't bless bodily functions." And I was like, I don't know this person. What are they going to say? Because they don't know me either. And she looked and she laughed so hard. And I said, "Oh, okay, I'm glad you're laughing." I said, "I was just trying to make a joke." And she goes, "No, that makes good sense." Because, oh, no, I'm sorry. I totally messed up the joke. Gosh darn it. What I said was, I don't bless bodily functions. If I'm not going to bless a fart, why am I going to bless a sneeze? I'm sorry. That was why it was so funny. Dang it. That's me. That's me. I always fuck up jokes and stuff, so that's me. But no, and then now we're like really good work friends and we get each other. But if someone says, "I'll pray for you," or "bless you," or I say thank you, I never would be, but I know what you're saying. It's kind of like "God Bless America," the song, or Ronald Reagan was quoted as saying, "God shines highly on our society," that kind of thing. It's like kind
really
of all in that.
only us?
Yeah, and I know they don't mean it that way. I know when you say we're so blessed, I know that they mean we're so fortunate.
Yes, but fortunate.
Fortunate?
I mean, that means that you just have better fortune than the person next
Oh
to you.
my gosh.
Are you luckier?
Damn, Cheryl, she's getting all cray up in here right now.
Well, that's the problem, right? That's
Yeah,
the
no, I
problem.
get it. I
I
get it.
overanalyze these
Yes.
things, so it's like okay, let's take this back to Thanksgiving. All right. So a lot of families say blessings, they pray and all that before meals, especially before an important one like Thanksgiving, where as Americans we it's a day of gratitude and thankfulness for the harvest and the bounty. Now that's what it is. It used to be something a whole lot different. Now we know, thank you to the natives that were there that saved our asses when we were starving to death in the winter.
Exactly.
That's basically what it means to me anyway.
Right.
All right, but the blessing, at our house it's usually, hey, just a toast to everybody who's here. Thanks so much for coming. We love you all, and we're really grateful that we have everyone here together.
Right.
So that's our form of it, right?
Yes.
But I think it's all the years of the study of science of mind and unity and a different way of thinking.
The secret.
Following thoughts are things mentality,
Right.
That's when I stopped saying, "Oh, I'm so blessed. I feel so grateful," because it meant that I was, for some reason,
I see what you're saying.
more blessed than the guy next to me,
Yeah.
and
That's
so it's
something
just
higher
really
than us is giving out
favors based on certain things, which I don't believe that. So then and the same with the bless you when someone sneezes.
Right.
I stopped doing that years ago because that was started. Bless you was because bless you as in may God bless you, because they believed that sneezing was caused by demons.
Oh, well, which we made jokes about that when someone would sneeze. We'd say, "Demons be gone."
Yeah.
Just to be funny. And it's not to make fun of people who say bless you, because again, if someone says bless you, I don't say, "Don't say bless you." I don't do that. I go, "Thank you." And I want my grandkids to know that, I'm not going to make a fuss about something where some people do, and that makes me mad. If I was in public and someone said, someone sneezed, and they said, "God bless you," and someone goes, "Don't bless me," or something, I would get on that person and go,
I know.
"Don't say that to that person." Yeah,
yes,
definitely.
But I'm just trying to explain.
No, I know.
I think why I get caught up in this, and it's just, I think too, because words the spoken word is so powerful. Our thoughts are so powerful.
Yeah.
They both of them can change the mood in a room.
Right.
In an instant, right?
Definitely.
So I want to make sure I'm choosing my words carefully,
Yeah.
and because I'm really trying hard to stop acting out with my words, because my words have always been my weapon. And I have used it very
Yes.
ruthlessly.
We call her
throughout the years.
Fast Fingers Malone, because she'd get on the social media and I'm going to tell this person what, and we're like, no, don't do it.
I have hurt many feelings and broken many relationships with my words. So I'm really trying to be careful, and so that's making me very conscious of every word
let's
that I
preface
use.
that with also, they hurt your feelings first, or they were being real douchebags, and two wrongs don't make a right. And don't think that we weren't looking at some of the stuff that you put and go, yeah, man, sure, I'll get them. But then I'm like, oh, Cheryl, boy, you're going to get raked to the coals for this one. But,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I'm sorry, but people can fuck off. They don't like me saying this, but she's very smart. And when you have smarter people dealing with people who are not as smart, you get now let me finish. The people who are in their circle who are not as smart get way more offended, because I think subconsciously they recognize that they just got told, even if it's not good, even if you stepped over the line. I'm just saying, sometimes that happens and people get offended because I think they know that they can't, I don't know how to explain it. Like, if you know you can't argue with somebody because they're at this higher level, and you're like, I can't even argue with this person because they can just cut me off at every pass because they're so wordy and they know all this stuff, and then it just makes them more angry. That's just my opinion.
No, I know what you're saying. I think it's just somehow a lot of the times, because of the fact that I'm so careful now, and I've been wanting to make sure anything that I put out,
right,
whether it's in a conversation or in a post on social media, I try really hard to know what the facts are so that I'm not putting something out that's not true.
Right.
Now, I slip up once in a while. I'll fully admit that happens.
Yeah.
But so when I respond to somebody, it's because I know where they got their information, or I know that the information they have that they're posting is not true.
Right.
And it's like, dude, that don't talk about what you don't know about.
Exactly.
Anyway, but my thing is, this time of year, family coming home, homecoming in the schools, Thanksgiving is a traditional U.S. holiday. And you're heading into the sleepy, slow down winter months, which traditionally, for nations that are on the same,
excuse me,
what do you call it? For those that are above the equator, I guess is what I want to say, where the sun is arcing in a different way, the days are shorter, all of that.
Right.
So it's kind of a time for reflection and a time for really taking stock of what I have. And because with harvest time and all that, it was all about, here's all the food we have for the winter.
Right.
And so I think that feeling is still there, even if it's like an inherited thing.
Yeah, because
it's still there.
It's funny, people talk about, spring cleaning.
Yeah.
Or you have a summer break.
New start.
Which we didn't, we didn't take for our business. We didn't take a summer break, so we had maybe a week off, and that we couldn't get a whole lot done in a week.
Right.
And most of it was spent at the business, or we did go on a vacation or something. So my time to always purge and clean was winter. So my spring break or spring cleaning is always winter cleaning, because we'd have 2 weeks off. And now that I work for somebody else, I'm on a school vacation, so I get 3 weeks off, and then in my other job I get 2 weeks off, which I don't get paid for that, but it kind of sucks. Yeah. But that's when I get to really purge and clean, and you're getting new stuff in because you're going to get gifts, or maybe you're getting new wardrobe, whatever. But I also wanted to, I don't want to forget, because my ADHD won't forget if I don't get this out now, even if it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But what you said about this whole thing of the preparing in the winter and the solstice and just that mentality, also because the new year's coming,
Yes.
and there's always the resolution. So it's like, yeah, we're slowing down and taking inventory of what we've accomplished, and always the videos everywhere. A look back at this year,
Right.
and that's everywhere. Even in your, my Amazon Music, your hits of 2025,
Right. Or on
and
Facebook.
or your pictures.
1 year ago
Google
today.
Photos.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a retrospect of the whole year,
Right.
and then January we start everything anew. And it seems so silly. It's like, just like with dieting or anything, we're going to start fresh on this.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll start on Monday.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
why don't you fucking start right now?
Exactly.
Why can't you start right now? But we all, I think we'll continue to do that. I don't think we're ever, as especially
species.
Americans maybe, but
Yeah.
never
Tradition-
stop doing that.
Tradition is so hard to let go of.
Oh, God,
And
yes.
and that's a good transition, because that was the other subject matter for
Okay,
today.
yeah.
Because the family tradition of sitting around the table having turkey. First of all, turkey is a nasty ass meat. I'm sorry, but I don't really like turkey.
I don't eat meat
eat it.
anymore, so.
Yeah, some people in our family have gone to
That's
not
what-
eating meat at all. So it's like, but the tradition is you have a turkey. So it's like every year I'm thinking, okay, we got this person, we got this many people who are going to eat, many people who won't eat it. How big a turkey do we need?
Right.
Well, we had 17, 18, I think 18 people
Mm-hmm.
maybe at our house yesterday. At my house, Thanksgiving Day.
And me and my daughter don't eat meat, so that was two of us right there.
Grandma, mom.
Oh,
I
yeah.
say grandma because that's what all the kids call her while we're there.
It's not our
It's like
grandma.
my mother,
yeah, she
our
doesn't like
mother,
turkey either,
does
yeah.
not eat meat at all right now. She stopped
Yeah.
eating at all.
Well, she didn't like
Um,
fowl.
She never liked
She really
turkey
didn't
anyway.
like turkey and chicken that much.
My point though is the tradition of making damn turkey. No one really likes it. My husband even said, as he's cooking this turkey, I don't really like turkey. Why are we cooking a damn turkey?
And then the ham situation didn't turn out either.
we had a giant ham. My mom, she doesn't eat meat now, but she used to love the ham, right? So with this giant ham, he opens it up and the smell, oh my gosh. And he had just bought it the day
Oh,
before.
man.
It was smelly and it had a funny color, and he's like, nope. Had to throw the whole thing
Oh, my
away.
gosh.
Because you couldn't run to the store.
Yeah.
We're waiting for people to get to the house.
Oh my gosh.
And he said, I have no idea which bag that receipt is in right now.
Yeah,
Because we had just
whatever.
been shopping. So it's like $35 ham. That's just money gone
Good
out the window.
Lord.
So the traditions that we follow
Yeah.
and the way we stress over making sure everything's perfect. I've gotten better over the years.
Yeah.
I used to stress out, and I was a royal
Me
bitch
too.
during the
Me
event
too.
because I would stress myself out. Now I'm like, you know what?
It was
I'm
very
going to do
nice.
the best I can, and,
Yeah.
and if people don't like it or my house isn't clean enough, don't come
Welcome.
next year. You
No
know?
problem.
But the thing about tradition is we get so glued to it that we can't let simple things go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, we have to have this and we have to celebrate that. Do we?
Well, that's
I
a
mean,
good
do we?
point. I mean,
And do we have to do it the same way all the time?
right.
Can't we start something new?
Well, first of all, I'm going to go to the past for two different families real quick. We are sisters, so we share obviously the same family. But I was talking to my son-in-law because he would never have known our other family, and I said, boy, Thanksgiving for us growing up was a whole different thing because every single member, except for my mom and kids, every member of the family smoked. Every single one of them.
In the house.
I'm not even exaggerating.
In the house.
And I'm sure there were some cousins that their parents allowed them to smoke while they were under 18. Probably was like, let them smoke, And there was a lot of booze too, but I'm just saying generally the smoking. So every Thanksgiving and Christmas, because we did Christmas Day there too, but it was just thick, like a bar back in the day.
There was like a line that was about the height of kids' heads, where there was smoke up here and just some space down here.
Yeah, and I mean every year, thankfully, for me, I'm thankful that I didn't grow up in that house where I'll just say one of my exes. Unfortunately, grew up in that situation their whole life and told me they would stuff towels under the doorways of their bedroom because when they saw the whole thing at school when they first started showing the whole
Right.
you
That
know
it was secondhand smoke could kill you.
yeah, telling
Yeah.
kids drugs are bad and this is a drug, and so then oh no, I'm gonna die, and he I just felt bad putting towels under his bedroom so the smoke didn't get to him. That made me so sad, but yeah, that was one experience with one side of our family. As far as Thanksgiving, you know, the
Yeah.
food, everything, and you got the booze, and it was an all day, all night affair. Like it was probably 8 hours, you know.
The whole day and
Yeah,
night.
and Christmas Day, same thing. It was all day, and I was thinking about that last night at your house because I thought, wow, we were there for maybe 4 hours, and I would have back in the day. My ex can attest to this. I would make them stay the whole no, we're staying till the last person leaves and we're gonna party all night because I think again was in our nature. That's
Yeah.
what we grew up with.
Right.
And yesterday I was like, oh, this is nice. Everybody's leaving, but it wasn't a feeling like, oh my God, where's everybody going? We're still gonna party. It's like we had a great time and now we go back to our lives. It's not like we're states away from everybody, you know. We're generally all pretty close. And it was just,
And we're
it was
in
nice.
pretty regular contact with each other.
Yeah.
Even my youngest daughter Miranda lives in Las Vegas, but she comes out for everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she and her husband, they come out for everything, every family gathering, anything. That
well, if there's
they
not
can.
traffic, it's only, especiate to your house,
Yeah.
it's only in the desert, it's
It was
only
3.5
couple
hours to get to my house.
Yeah,
from
so
her
it's
house.
not
So-
that bad.
But still, and then our other siblings live out of state.
Mm-hmm.
But the point being, we can have a gathering like that and not feel like we have years to catch up on or
Yeah.
something, you know,
Mm-hmm.
where it used to be.
Oh my gosh.
I can't imagine as a mom how tired you would be.
Oh,
My
yeah.
mom bringing all four of
Oh
us
my gosh.
to my grandparents' house on
And
those
she did not like the
holidays.
drinking or the smoking. Well, the smoking, and she probably didn't think about it then, but she did not like the drinking because everybody would get
Yeah.
just
And the
out of
kids would
control.
all have to be put down somewhere, you know, put to sleep.
I remember laying on
somewhere.
that couch in the living room, like, how am I going to sleep in there?
Yeah.
But I do remember that as a kid, yeah.
So it's a tradition. We hold on to those traditions. It's
Yes.
like we always had Christmas Eve at my mom's side of the family,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a huge party too. But no drinking
No,
and no
my
not real
grandmother-
smoking. A few people would, but they'd go outside in
Yeah.
the back. And then my uncle played Santa Claus, and I mean it was just, you know, and people from all over, extended family, friends, neighbors. It was huge.
Yeah.
For years,
I'd
we
say
grew up with
more
that.
extended family came to that. The one on the other side of the family, there were some local cousins, but it wasn't like there wasn't always people from out of town coming as much as my mom's side.
The other side.
Yeah.
But and the reason I bring it up is that when situations changed, like when our dad's parents passed, they sold that house. People had moved away.
Yeah, we never had a party
We never
again.
had any gathering on that side of the family again until we did a family reunion or during a funeral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was the only time we would have that side of the family together
Yeah,
again.
it's sad.
So it was very strange how those traditions just go
Mm-hmm.
and what it does psychologically. You know, when you grow
Yeah.
up with that, you're like, what do I do now? What do I do? What am I going to do Christmas Day? And there were
Yeah.
days, especially when if you're divorced and so your kids are going to go stay
Mm-hmm.
with their dad and you're suddenly realizing I have no place to go.
Yeah.
And what that does to you.
Yeah.
You know, it's so bizarre how those traditions can
Well,
affect you.
luckily though, we come from a family that if someone gets divorced, even some of the hairiest divorces that you've ever seen, we always welcomed that person back in. You know, they show up for Christmas even with their new spouse or their kids together, whatever. That's just the way it was. So our dad and our stepmom were always welcome to my mom's. She never would say, we're not coming over here. They always would come. And my grandma really was into that. The other grandma not so much. I don't think
The other grandma,
she was not as
that's another
welcoming.
story
Yeah,
another time, but yeah.
but my mom's mom was very welcoming of people.
Well, I got a funny story for you.
All right.
It's more of a story for Christmas than for Thanksgiving, but I'm going to tell it anyway because we're talking about family and tradition and acceptance, right? Okay, so this is a good time to bring up the fact that my husband has been part of the family twice.
Oh.
Because when I was married to my second husband, Wendy, we were in a band together. Well, she was in the band.
You were
I
the
was
writer.
helping her write.
She wrote the
songs, lyrics, and so we would do that together with this band. Anyway, they ended up changing drummers, and the drummer that they went with was someone that Wendy had grown up with in high school.
Yeah,
and
we were in the
really good
junior high
friends.
band together.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew each other. We weren't like super good friends, but we knew of each other. You know, we were in the band together. But yeah.
So anyway, at the time, there was Wendy was kind of going through a transition in her current relationship, and so then when we started working in the band together, she and Mike struck up a good close friendship that developed into a relationship, and then for a couple of years he would go with her to our family functions.
Yes.
So there were a couple of Christmases where he would go with her to this Christmas Eve party.
Yeah.
And so 10 years later in the future.
Yes, I get a call 10 years later. Hey, remember Mike?
Yeah, Mike and I we were both single.
Yeah.
She had married.
Yes.
And moved on. So 10 years later, and I run into him at a gas station. We're both on our way to work. Hey, haven't seen you in so long. You know, it's been 10 years, kind of thing. And then we end up deciding to go out for coffee to catch up on what's going on in each other's lives. And that coffee meeting ended up like 4 hours sitting together at a Starbucks, drinking coffee, laughing, having the best time. And I left that night. I had been dating a couple different people, and I was like, man, I basically told them pretty much just lose my number because I was hoping that he felt the same way, and he did because he called me and asked me on an actual date. Okay, so that sets everything up, right? So then we're telling Wendy, I just want you to know, which of course she didn't care.
It didn't bother me.
But anyway, so we did start, I started taking him to Christmas stuff.
Right.
And the first thing my grandma said to him, my mom's mom, our grandma, said to him was, Mike, welcome back. We missed you. So he had made such an impression on our family already. Yeah. My dad loved him. Everybody loved him.
Well, and to be fair, we don't need to get into details, but he was a different person when we were together, and I was a different person.
That's
you know?
A whole other story.
That's what I'm saying. But
subject.
I know. Yeah. But my point is, we were just different people at that time. We were younger. And I was in a different place when my kids were really young, and he was such a great influence to them. But it just didn't work out for us. But he was just so good for them. And what's funny is because this is how our family is. It's so crazy. Her grandkids call him Pappy. That's his, grandfather named Pappy. Well, since he was almost my kid's stepdad, I said, but now he's their uncle.
Now he's their uncle.
You're going to call him Uncle Pappy.
Uncle Pappy.
So my granddaughter, I always refer to him as Uncle Pappy. So and then some people in the family just shake their heads like.
But our dad said, you guys are true Oklahoma descendants. Making jokes about marrying each other's siblings and whatever.
But again, that just goes back to when we talk about traditions and seeing that growing up. We saw cousins bringing their other spouses
and everybody
or
just
uncles
got along,
Uncle so-and-so was always Uncle so-and-so. Even if they got divorced, I would still call them that.
And they'd still come to
unless they were
things.
Like a super douche
that
did something terrible.
Never,
ever we have
for various reasons.
One that was definitely got what he
shunned.
deserved. But and shunned. So obviously that's going to happen, but for the most part, and we do that in people in our lives too with friends that we, you have someone who's a friend. We won't say who, but we had an uncle who had a girlfriend, and he totally dissed that girlfriend, and she still stuck around, and we called her aunt.
Yeah, for
I
years
even
until
lived
she
with
passed.
her. I lived with her
Oh,
for
yeah,
a year
you
when I
did.
went to college, and she was the sweetest. And I always considered her to be an aunt. I never, and as a kid, like I think on the surface, I knew she wasn't a blood relative, but I didn't think about it. It was
Yeah.
just she was my
She was
aunt,
just my aunt.
and I didn't until I got older and really,
Knew the whole story.
yeah, and recognized it. But still, I called her that, and
So these family dynamics, it's like an enculturated way of understanding how relationships should work.
definitely.
And we're very grateful for that.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
I'm so
I
grateful
am.
for that
I
because
am.
you know, things could be if we didn't understand how to appreciate those relationships
definitely.
and respect them, we would be in such a different place, I think.
Yeah. Well, and that goes back to, we have a lot of different family members that have gone through some real heinous shit. Whether it was terrible custody battles, divorces, people getting illnesses and dying,
Right.
people dying, babies dying. It's just, I grew up with I'm the youngest. Me and another cousin are the super youngest kids. Kind of like my nearest sibling is 4 years. One of my brothers is 4 years older than me. So, I'm that much younger. And that 4 years does make a difference, especially when you're a kid or a teenager. But, and then another cousin that's I think a year younger than me. And, the things that some of these people have went through in our family, we say, oh, we're so fortunate or blessed or whatever. Yeah, there's no, is it luck? Is it fortunate? It's not somebody smiling down upon us that we haven't had these issues. Maybe, I don't know, but you can't sit there and go, oh, that's because, like we talked about with The Secret, and we are just more positive people in this stuff. I have a lot of medical issues right now because of the things I did to my body. So yes, I caused that to happen. It's not because, oh, well, it's in the family genes. No, I have good family genes, and I did not treat my body with the respect I should have. And so I have a lot of problems. So I'm not saying that those family members, those things happened because they were negative people. That's not what we're saying, but it's also, there's a little bit of randomness there. And there are some people that we know that are negative people and are the woe is me, why is this always happening to me?
The cat is snoring. You can't hear it, but I'm like, oh, that's precious. That cat is so precious when she's asleep. Anyway. But yeah, to wrap this up, that I think is a perfect way to start ending, is that your perception or your reaction to your life, to things that happen to you in your life, that reaction and that perception means everything. And if you can be, that's probably oops.
Sorry about that. My dog was barking at somebody coming to the door. Anyway, so you were talking about,
I don't remember now,
what the hell were we talking about?
Just wrapping it up, saying that,
Yeah.
in order to be grateful or thankful for something, again, you need to know, there's that awareness thing. You've got to know, well, what is it, that in my life that I'm thankful for? And the things that are coming to you, life is life. Life is going to happen. And you have to, I'm learning that I have to really think about what good is in my life. Right. And there's always something that you can find to be thankful for.
Definitely.
And we have an abundance. And I think though that we look for those things in our lives. We're getting better at recognizing the abundance in our life.
Well, and we have done a lot of study. I know people have a lot of qualms about the Secret by Rhonda Byrne, and when that came out, we were all about that. And the way I got introduced has to do with my next story, because I was having some female problems, and then one thing led to another, and then I was set to have a partial hysterectomy, but then further study, you got some cancer cells in your uterus, so we got to take everything out. And I'm the type that, of course, I was freaking out. I'm not going to go, I wasn't scared at all. Yeah. But I was freaking out. But there's that part of me that's like, okay, until they tell me there's no hope left at all, then I'm just going to keep going. We're going to just keep doing this, whatever we're doing. And I'm not a religious person. And I've done a lot of stupid and crappy shit in my life that I could do a lot of penance for. So that's the thing. But we have other people in the family who did pass away from cancer and were maybe religious. And that's kind of, to me, that whole, I'm thankful that I didn't have to go through that. I had a hysterectomy. I didn't have to have chemo, and I'm very thankful for that. And that was in 2007. And so far, I haven't had anything. I'm cancer free. So good for me. Why does it not happen to other people? Well, when you hear something like The Secret, I had to really, that was hard because they made it sound like, well, it's because you weren't thankful enough, or, they wanted to put it back on the person, like, you died of cancer because you didn't think about it enough or have positive thoughts. I'm like, wait a minute. So that's when The Secret and I kind of started going, I don't know about that. Well, you can take a little bit of everything, whether it's The Secret or positive power thinking, science of mind, religion, and it's all comes to the same thing. Things will happen. If there's an earthquake, I didn't bring an earthquake to me, but I do live in California, so is it a shock that there's an earthquake? And if my house falls down and kills me?
Well, it could be an aftershock.
But I'm just saying, like, that's when it does get confusing. I am thankful that I am where I'm at, but then I also have survivor's guilt because someone else's relative died of cancer and I didn't, and why? That doesn't make you better or worse. It's just, but you do have that guilt of I want to be able to feel good about myself without making it, hey, I'm celebrating this, without making someone else feel bad about your, that's like you hit the lottery and then you have a friend that was poor as shit just like you, and you want to go, yay, and they're like, yeah, good for you, man. It's I don't know what the answer is.
Well, I feel like, again, it's what is your reaction to the situation? Because even if you're in a position where you can't control what's happening, and even if you had been diagnosed with something that was terminal, it's what is your attitude in the.
I would have been pissed. I would have been crying. I would have been upset and mad at the world. But I know that I wouldn't have just sat on the couch and cried all day, every day. I would have been trying to still go see my granddaughter's recitals or hang out with you.
And we have relatives, and much like, many of the relatives that we've had, that's their, they don't just curl up in a ball.
No.
And I think that comes from our grandparents. Again, a sort of a...
Yes, our matriarchal grandmother,
you just keep
taught
going.
us well.
You just keep going, And so that's kind of what we do. And I'm so grateful for my family and for those things.
Right.
So gratitude.
Definitely.
Gratitude.
Look into it. Write it down. Get a journal. That helped me a lot. I did a lot of those the secret type workbooks, and as cheesy as it sounds, it was helpful. It was helpful.
Yeah. Because you're rewiring your brain. You're developing new ways, new pathways where your brain is, you're going to react differently to things.
Definitely.
In a more constructive way versus a destructive way.
Yeah.
And
for me, because I have ADHD and my mind is all over the place, I did I think it was the Rhonda Byrne, it was called The Magic or something. I don't remember what it was called. It was something, but you had to write like 10 every day, like 10 times or 10 different things in a category. And for me to be consistent on anything is really hard. But I did it. And then I would do it over and over. When that was done, I'd start it up again. And that really did help me, writing it down. And it's funny too, because you go back now and look and think, oh my gosh, I that's not even my life anymore. Or, writing down, I want to make X amount of dollars, or I want to have this job. And I'll find those little places where, you know, you put them somewhere and you find this little piece of paper where you wrote your intentions. Like, dude, that already came true. And it's not even, you say, oh, it was magic. No, but you're setting the intention, you're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
So it's nothing magical, or, you know, that somebody's out there pointing a finger and saying, okay, you deserve it because you thought about it 10 times or wrote it down. It's you're putting that intention out there, and your subconscious already knows you did it.
Right.
Your subconscious already knows that you're thankful for those things and that you're ready for those things to come into your life that you want. So,
yep. So, gratitude.
Yep.
And we hope that you had a good week.
Yes.
And we hope that you found something useful in this video. I don't know. Even if it's just entertainment, or you learned more than you needed to know about us. You'll continue to learn way more than you need to know about us.
And we will start addressing comments, because we already have had one comment. I don't know if you want to just address the one right now, or do we have time?
Let's we'll put that in the next video.
Okay.
We had it wasn't necessarily a comment that you know about. It's one that was given to us directly. So.
Yes, it wasn't on the video.
So we'll talk about that on the next one.
Yes, we will. Okay.
But for now, we hope that you've enjoyed
Grandma's Not Right.
And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.